Alexis, where are you, love? There you are. You're on my top left. Go ahead, unmute yourself, start with a gratitude, and then ask your question.
Hello, hello. I
Hi.
am super grateful for the workout that I was able to squeeze in and still get home in time for this call. So
Amazing.
all the good things today. I have two questions. So I don't, and they have nothing to do with each other. So I don't know if you want me to ask them both or just ask one, put a pin in it, give time for other people to dive in there. I think they'll be helpful.
Go for it.
First one, do you always have a call to action with all of your posts? And if you do, how do you decide like where to send people? Like, do you use certain platforms to send them to like just your email sign up or other
Yeah.
platforms that are more dedicated to getting people to join your mastermind?
Yeah. This is a great question. I'll stop you there and we'll go to the other one.
Okay.
The landscape has changed a lot. So if you don't know who I am, I started in the online space in 2012. So it's been 11 years. I've seen a lot of changes, and what used to work in 2012 is not the same as 2017, is not the same as 2020, is not the same as today, as you would imagine. So my personal belief on call to action has changed. If you asked me this question 5 years ago, even every single post of mine has a call to action. And yes, we always want to be building our email list because email lists are lists that we own. Social media, we don't own. So if you get hacked or Zuckerberg shuts it down, like you don't have a way to contact your people. So we want to make sure that we're building an email list and or a text message list. We own both of those. Texting oftentimes is not free. People are also a little bit tighter to give away their phone number. So it's just email list is going to be the one. However, my thoughts on this has changed a little bit over the years, and everything that I'm sharing with you is my experience. It's not the be all end all. So this is my experience now today. I would say probably 90% of my hard feed posts, so hard feed solo posts, carousels, reels, I'd say probably about 90% have a call to action, but it's not always to join my email list or come to a free training or, comment the word mastermind if you want to hear more about my mastermind. It's not always a strong call to action like that. I'd say more often than not, it's a conversational call to action. So actually today I put up a reel and it said like, tell me below one action step you're taking today for your future self. The other day I put a post up, it went kind of viral. It was a cute one. It said like, she believed she could, but her dog was in her lap, so she didn't, like something like that. And it went kind of viral. And the call to action was like, if you are a dog mom or dog dad, like tell me below, name of your dog and how old and breed. And there's like 100 comments of people just being like, this is my dog, right? So that's a call to action to start a conversation, which in the world of social media, what that conversation does is it creates more comments creates more engagement helps the algorithm. So it's a snowball that happens of engagement. That type of post, so every post I put up has intention. That type of post is doing one thing. And I'm not going to make you just all guess because if you haven't learned from me before, you might not know, but some content is educational. Some content is for storytelling. Some content is for social proof, case studies. Some content is for aspiration or inspiration. Some content can be for motivation. So something like that, that's not an educational post at all, right? That just creates that know, like, trust. That's relatability. That's like, oh my God, I have a dog too. And it's this instant, like, love dogs. Cat people, you're cool too, but it's not the same thing, right? Like it's just not in my world. So it gives you that instant like bond of, oh my God, me too, love dogs, this is funny. It's also very shareable. That post got shared so many times because people think it's funny. It's not polarizing. It's not boring business, 5 steps, 3 ways, how to, 7 things, right? It's just like, oh my God, this is funny. And so when people share it, of course, again, that creates more momentum for the algorithm, but also drives people back to my profile because people are like, oh, this is funny. Who's this girl? And then they click it, generally in the hopes that all of my content looks that way. Oftentimes to be left disappointed when they notice that it isn't. This is the problem with going viral. When you have something that goes viral, a lot of times it does you a disservice because people start following you because of this one thing that you did. And then they expect to see it over and over, but it was just like a one-off thing that you put up that happened to go viral. And they land on your page and they're like, wait a minute, you're like a hormone teacher? Like you're a spin instructor? Like you teach business? I thought this was like funny dog memes. And then they're like, unfollow, right? And that oftentimes happens too. So is there always a call to action? I'd say 90% of the time in my hard feed posts, there is some type of call to action. 10% of the time, I don't. Like, I'm just like, signing off with like a mic drop moment. And like, that's it. If you want to comment or do something, you can. Of the 90% that there is a call to action, I'd say probably close to 50% of that is a strict call to action, like comment the word XYZ below if you want the link, or make sure you join the waitlist link in my bio, or something like that. What I have found, we're stepping into 2024. What I have found now to work better is that this is in my experience, my hard feed content is the educational and the case studies and the storytelling and all of that. My stories are where I do the selling. I do the majority of my selling in my stories. That actually has never changed. I've always sold in my stories. I built my whole business in my stories. But the juicier call to action of join the wait list, here's the link to buy, set up your call with me, that's going down in the stories. So those like really heavy hitting, join my email list, that's going down in the stories. This morning alone, I put up an affiliate, something that I'm an affiliate link for. Yesterday, I have like a free opt-in. That's all the books that I read. So it's not always like join my course, but it's going to be like, I'm building my email list. I'm having you take action. That's really going down in my stories. And a lot of the content on my page is just, let's create that know, like, and trust, build a relationship, credibility, authority, case studies, social proof. That's more of like the meat and potatoes of my content. And also, emails have call to actions. So most of my emails, I'd say, Lauren can correct me on this one, I would say it's pretty rare that we send an email with no call to action. Again, generally it's going to be like, listen to the podcast episode I just talked about in this email. Here's the link to the retreat if you want to join. Go check out my friend's page. She's awesome. Whatever. And sometimes we'll even say like, email me back, and people will email back. So email me back if this resonated. Email me back if you're interested in this. Yes, most have a CTA, and it's going to be a different type of CTA. Sometimes it's a link to do something or a button to do something. And sometimes I'm literally like, reply back with your favorite recipe. And people do, because I reply back. So I've trained my audience that like, it is me and I do want to have conversations, and it's me in the DMs. And one of the ways that you can also train your audience in a very like a subconscious way is I send voice memos. It's always me. It's always been me in the DMs. And so I love sending voice memos because people are like, whoa, oh my God, it's you. I'm like, yeah, of course it's me. Right. But it's like, it opens that door up to have the conversation. So I hope that answers your question. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you loved this episode, I invite you to be a part of our ripple effect and share it with a friend. And please, if you feel called, take 30 seconds to leave a 5-star review, and I'll be forever grateful. Until next time, cheers to your evolution.